Magandang gabi and welcome to Just Ask Why podcast episode number 8. Ang ating topic for tonight is very controversial kung sasabihin ng iba. So basically ang topic natin is why does conflict revolve more around religion? So napapansin natin marami tayong mga discriminatory statements na parang sasabi natin lahat ng terorista or rather sorry, lahat ng Muslim may terorista. Marami sinasabi parang yung the Inquisition before it was led by Christianities, 'di ba? Yung meron din tayong Christian persecutions. Sobrang daming violence related sa religion. So bakit ba ang conflict para siyang nakakapit sa religion? Parang wherever religion is, there is always conflict. So bago natin mag-dive tayo here deeper, define mo natin kung anong religion ba kasi ang aspect ng religion natin is basically believing in a God. Well, it can also be defined as religion believing in a supernatural being, 'di ba? Pero basically, religion can be defined as a fundamental set of beliefs and practices generally agreed upon by a number of persons or sects. So, it's not limited to just believing a god or a supernatural being. So basically, 'di ba? Dito tayo nasa 21st century tayo. At the dawn of the 21st century, a casual glance at world affairs would suggest that religion is at the core of much of the strife around the globe. Nakita natin 'yung sa may 9/11 ng 2001. May ano daw 'yon ng ISIS, mga Muslim-led terrorists, mga extremists sila. Often, religion is a contentious issue where sasabihin nila eternal salvation is at stake, compromise can be difficult or for others sinful, but we also have to agree or we can also beg to agree that religion is also important because as a central part of many individuals' identity, any threat to one's belief is a threat to one's very being. This is a primary motivation for the ethno-religious nationalists. So, marami tayong mga very hardcore Christians na, di ba, parang uh, pag inatake mo yung religion nila, shock na shock sila. Kunwari may nakatagpo silang bading, akala nila atake na to sa buong religion nila. So it becomes a statement daw na parang atake sa pagiging pagkatao nila. For others, religion is their identity. So nagkakaroon tayo ng extremists or yung mga nationalists nga. Pero we can also agree na important nga ang religion because important din ang identity para sa ating mga tao. But however, the relationship between religion and conflict is in fact a very complex one. Religiously motivated peace builders have played important roles in addressing many conflicts around the world. This aspect of religion and conflict is discussed in the parallel essay on religion and peace. Usually kasi, when we talk about religion, it's about always going for peace, diba? Yun naman yung parang basis ng religion. It's always finding the good, always becoming the best person in the world, always the what is morally good, diba? So, religious teachings tend to focus on how people can live alongside each other with love, understanding, and compassion. However, there are many different religions and different beliefs, and this can sometimes lead to conflict kasi whenever people don't agree, or rather, when they disagree with some things, lagi nagkakaroon ng conflict or meron discourse. So, puntahan natin yung mga different teachings na yun or perspective. Sinummarize ko siya into 3 points. The first point is the golden rule point. It is often claimed that religion causes conflict and war. It is true that sometimes deeply held beliefs can lead to clashes, and there have been many wars that were caused by disputes over religion and beliefs. Diba? Yung Christian persecution, Muslim extremists, yung Inquisition, 'di ba? Marami dahil solely empowered by religion and beliefs. However, for many people, religion can still be a power for peace. A message of peace and love towards others is at the heart of all the major world religions. This is called the Golden Rule. It is the principle that you should treat others as you would like to be treated yourself. And it is found in one form or another in every major religion. Most religions prize forgiveness as a strength and discourage people from taking revenge on those who have wronged them. So yung pinaka strongest teaching sa halos lahat ng religions, regardless kung sino ang Diyos mo, kung sino ang pinapaniwalaan mo, it is always to be good to other people because kung paano mo gusto matrato ang sarili mo, edi yun din ang pagtatrato mo dapat sa tao. Kung gusto mo i-treat ka ng good, edi treat others good as well. So meron tayong sharing connections, sharing the love with other people, regardless of who they are. Kasi dito sa Golden Rule, hindi naman sinabi na you should treat only those na same beliefs mo, or you should only treat those na mayaman. It says others, and others is a general statement for everybody. Everybody na maliban sa'yo. Kahit sino pa yan, kahit ano pa ang kinakatayuan niya, kung ano man yung social status niya, kung mahirap siya, mayaman, kung ano yung belief niya, regardless of that, you treat others as how you want to be treated. And that's the first point, the golden rule point. The next point is called pacifism. So pacifism is to become, in a word, to pacify. Diba alam niyo, pacify yung sa baby, yung sinusubo para hindi sila umiyak. To pacify meaning to stop, diba? To hinder. So, some religions teach total non-violence and non-harm, such as the branches of Hinduism and Buddhism. This approach is called pacifism. Followers of certain branches of Christianity are pacifists, such as the Quakers. Meron tayo yung mga Hindu leader, sila Mohandas Gandhi, often called Mahatma Gandhi, who led a successful non-violent struggle to free India from British rule. Isa siya sa mga greatest examples sa non-violent protests, and very successful siya, and he's being looked upon by many people. Another one is the Christian preacher, si Dr. Martin Luther King. Found inspiration in Gandhi's nonviolent struggle, Dr. King believed that Jesus had preached a message that you should love everyone, including your enemies. Diba? Yung you shall not turn the other cheek, love your enemies, love your neighbors, to the two greatest commandments. He led the struggle for black people to be given equal rights in the USA. And he did so without the use of violence. So nakita natin dito, sila ang mga pacifists who tend to solve things by stopping what is the current happening or the current violence. And how do they do it? How do they pacify it? By addressing these issues through a non-violent approach. So ito yung maganda, and it's heavily empowered by their belief system or by their religion, kung ano man yung paniniwala nila. So andyan na tayo sa 2 points natin. Una, which is the golden rule. Second, the pacifism. And the third point is the how I call this, a just war. So some religions teach that conflict and taking up arms can be justified in the right circumstances. Sikhs, for example, have faced persecution throughout their history and have been involved in violent clashes with their kalaban nila sa religion, with other faiths. Likewise, Islam is not a pacifist religion, but there are very strict rules about when a war can be justified and how to behave when wars are being fought. Islam is strict about avoiding unnecessary harm and violence both to the enemy and any innocent bystander. So, masasabi naman natin na violence is actually part ng kanilang culture sa religion nila. Although, dahil meron tayong mga tinatawag na extremists, meron nakakapag-interpret ng kanilang teachings wrongly, kaya kami mga ibang Muslims na sinasabi na ikinakahiya nila yung mga nasa ISIS, yung mga extremists na yun. Kasi kita naman natin dito, Islam is actually strict about avoiding unnecessary harm. Diba? Justified lang ang kanilang violent acts. Similarly, most branches of Christianity accept that sometimes war and violence can be necessary. And like Islam, syempre, there are also specific rules for when a war can happen and how it should be fought. People often refer to the Second World War as an example of a just war because it brought an end to the Holocaust and to Nazi rule. It was a just war because, syempre, yung pagpapersecute ng mga Nazi sa mga Jews, it had to be stopped kasi if we let Germany continue with their rule, maraming mamamatay dito. That's why it's often called as a just war because it had to stop. So, nakita na natin yung 3 points, yung 3 different perspectives. Now, meron akong kinuha sa internet na nag-research ako about opinions ng 4 people from different beliefs. 4 beliefs actually, kasi nga 4 people, diba? Namely, these are Islam, Judaism, atheism. Yes, atheism for me is a religion because atheists don't believe in a God, diba? Pero the fact that they believe in nothing is actually believing in something. Nagigets mo ba? Parang yun yung atheism. Because yun nga, sinabi natin, ang religion kanina, is basically a fundamental set of beliefs and practices generally agreed upon by a number of people. So it's not limited to just believing God or a supernatural being. So first, dayo tayo sa Islam. It is true na religion has been a major feature in some historical conflicts and the most recent wave of modern terrorism. Take note, yung pinaka-recent nga, yung what shook the world was the 9/11 attacks noong 2001. Religion has taken on extra significance today because globalization is challenging and changing everything. Religious identity not only survives but can take on heightened significance when national and political alliances break apart, as happened in the former Yugoslavia in the early 1990s when Serbs, Croatians, and Bosniaks were divided along Orthodox, Catholic, and Muslim fault lines because people take into account yung religion nila. They see it as their own identity as well. Kaya sobrang tindi ng impact ng religion. Let's take it in a very contemporary issue. Recently, yung controversial takeover ng China, yung concentration camp sila sa Uyghur, yung mga Uyghur Muslims. They're forcing those people to ano bang word doon? To turn their back on their religion, which is Islam, 'di ba? Dahil lang sa paniniwala ng Chinese na anyone who doesn't support or believe or paano ba natin treat Xi Jinping a god as a god, should die, di ba? Parang ganun, parang you're all not fit humans if you don't believe in the president of China. Anyways, continuing with Islam, the Quran recognizes the human propensity for conflict and gives permission for defensive warfare. Take note, defensive warfare. Kanina sinabi natin, sa Islam, violence or war is okay when it is justified. Muslim scholars developed a just war theory, although admittedly in the ensuing centuries, jihad was also used to further the territorial ambitions of ruthless leaders. Just as today, it's distorted to justify terrorist bombings. Like both law and politics, religion can be used to defend the oppressed and to oppress the defenseless. So it's a double-edged sword, kunwari sa Islam, dahil meron tayong mga extremists who are misinterpreting their beliefs, nagiging weapon ang kanilang religion to oppress the defenseless. And likewise din, this religion, dahil meron sila yung just war theory, nade-defend nila yung oppressed by, making sure na these violent acts don't harm the innocent civilians. And that is the problem of corrupt religion. The problem of corrupt religion has attracted the criticism of many prophets and saints. However, religion unfortunately provides a useful cover and powerful motivator for the evil-hearted. That religion can be so marked differently in the hands of the power-hungry as opposed to the altruistic and virtuous. It really says more about human psychology than it does about religion, pero it is connected pa rin dahil andun yung belief system nila eh. Although it could, sa mga evil-hearted na ito, parang, problema na yun ng tao eh, baliw siya eh, he's a psychopath, pero it can also be taken up into account dahil sa belief system niya or how that person interpreted the religion. We can say that many human conflicts unfortunately involve religion. So sa Judaism naman, it is a curious question, 'di ba? Para sa tao na ito whose belief is Judaism, it's a curious question that reflects both the vicious hatred of Muslims by many so-called new atheists, but it's also a creepy utopian nightmare that is apparently idealized by them. What is it? It is to destroy Christianity. Bakit kailangan i-destroy ang Christianity? Kasi ito yung ongoing war, di ba? Ito yung, feel ko alam naman nating lahat eh. Why destroy Christianity? Taken into context of violence, is it because the Catholic Church has committed innumerable crimes all throughout history? Because it opposes abortion and birth control, refuses to accept female priests, and hides sex offenders in its midst? Is it because sobrang traditional nila, they're not progressive? To be sure that, the institution is dysfunctional, but, wishing for its disintegration, destroying Christianity itself, it reflects a savagery that will only inflame but not reduce tensions. It's not actually lessening the problems, it's actually creating more problems, diba? Dahil we have agreed kanina that religion is also an identity for others. None of this is to excuse the undeniable barbarity unleashed by religionists over the centuries. We agree to that. Alam naman ng karamihan yon na pinagagawa ng Christianity, any religions throughout history na sa violence ang ginagawa nila. Yung the misogyny, beheadings, terrorisms, killings, beatings, and cruelty are all real. They're all recorded in history. And hanggang ngayon, they still continue. Lahat yun nangyayari kasi para sa iba, for the sake of their religion, for the sake of their beliefs. So, maraming guilty of claiming religion as the source of world's evil dahil maraming nga rin nag-agree na baka it's only a human psychology problem. And they can say, or rather others say na it's a careless comment dahil nagsisisi nga sila na lagi nilang sinisisi ang religion. It is also far too easy to blame the Muslim faith for honor killings because, extremists misinterpreted these belief nila sa Islam, and lagi siyang gina-justify kahit it's not aligned with the just war theory ng paniniwala ng ibang Muslim. But the 20th century is filled with examples. Yung history ay mga grabbing killings to, namely Stalin's Soviet Union and Mao's China. They didn't need a god as an excuse to, commit genocide against the state's own people, and yet they did. And this is where I'm coming through na kahit wala silang god, pero bakit pumapasok pa rin yung religion sa itong dalawa na ito, sila Stalin and Mao? And also, include na rin natin sila Pol Pot, diba, sa Cambodia. Now, let's go to atheism. Atheists like Mao or Pol Pot have murdered millions in the name of political totalitarianism. Hitler used a quasi-mystical racist philosophy to exploit the ancient hatred of the Jews by Christians. And I've heard somewhere, although hindi ko lang alam kung saan, narinig-rinig ko lang that, terrorism occurs when you combine a sense of military and economic inferiority with a sense of moral superiority. And religion is very good at conferring a sense of moral superiority on its follower. Bali nga, your religion, although kahit wala kang God, pero ang belief system mo is strong, kunwari sila Mao and Pol Pot, ang belief nila, maraming maraming na-feel nila parang, oo, tama to. Because sabi ng isang tao, it must be right. And, di ba, maraming nag-agree kay Hitler actually before na parang, yes, totoo nga, let's go, let's kill all the Jews, di ba? Kasi, kung hindi dahil sa Jews, edi, buhay sana si Jesus Christ ngayon, di ba? Yung ganon. Indeed, while the religious have murdered throughout history in the name of their God, I've been unable to find any evidence of atheists killing anyone in the name of atheism. Syempre, nakakatawa yun. Atheists are no more or less capable of evil than anyone else because humans are fundamentally evil. Period. Nasusuppress lang yun ng mga laws and ethics and morals. But it seems that murder, particularly mass murder and war, is a sin of commission. In other words, human beings are generally only prepared to fight and kill in the name of something. It can be a god, but it can also be a political philosophy like Nazism or communism. So dito mapasok, 'di ba? Yung lahat tayo, we do things in the name of something. We do things not for ourselves, pero for whatever it is that we believe in. And that is why kaya sinama ko ang atheists kasi I believe that atheism is a religion because meron silang paniniwala. Ang paniniwala man nila is not believing in a God. They believe in nothing, diba? They believe that there is no supernatural being or a God. That itself is their belief. And that itself is why they can be considered as a religion. Although nga na hindi sila, yung mga examples na to, sila Mao at Pol Pot ay pumatay without naming a God. Sabihin nila pumatay sila not because of a God, they still killed in the name of something, which is yung belief nila, which is political totalitarianism. So, it cannot be excused. Humans are still fundamentally evil, pero it is also yung effect ng religion nila, or whatever their beliefs is, that actually influences their actions. So, tungo tayo sa last, obviously, Christianity. Siyempre, when you speak of religion, laging una papasok sa utak natin is Christianity. Religion has been implicated in all sorts of conflict and violence throughout human history. There is blood on the hands of the faithful and no avoiding fact No avoiding the fact that in the service of the wrong people, religion can be a force of great harm. And this includes Christianity, obviously. If we consider the sins of the Christian past, critics have plenty to work with. Witch hunts, dahil bawal daw yung mga ganon. Alam mo ba yung theory sa witch hunts na si Mary Magdalene daw ang naging unang witch dahil binless siya ni Jesus Christ, and then hindi matanggap yun ng mga lalaking priests at that time, so they called them witches, di ba? May ganun eh. Obviously the Crusades, and then the Christian support of slavery, maraming throughout history, sobrang problematic ng Christianity nun. Pero the picture is much more complex than is often implied. Kunwari, the Inquisition, kunwari, kung naging casual talk nyo lang to, marami mag-agree na millions were killed at the hands of the church. But historians would usually say na it's around 5,000 to 600 people lang na namatay over a 350-year period. And that's less than 18 a year, kumbaga, kada namamatay during the Inquisition. 1 year is terrible, but the reality appears a long way from what we are often served up. Kasi maraming in-exaggerate nila yung nangyayari. Yes, it is still wrong na makita yung violence na yun, pero alam mo yun, when people exaggerate, kunwari, tawag natin dito, yung wrong information, it can actually affect yung view natin over this religion or this belief. So, yeah, actually, nung Inquisition, historians say na 5,000 to 600 lang ang namatay over the 350-year period instead of millions. So, that's not the point. Ang point dito is, nakikita natin na violence is actually being done in the name of something who creates violence. They do it in the name of something, diba? Which is their belief. So what is to be done? What is to be done if, technically humans are fundamentally evil, and despite of their, regardless of their religion, regardless of their belief system, they're still evil. And your religion, it only influences what they think, diba? What they will do. So what is to be done? In the eyes of many, in the eyes of many, religion is inherently conflictual. But this is not necessarily so. Therefore, in the part, the solution is to promote a heightened awareness of the positive peace-building and reconciliatory role religion has played in many conflict situations. Diba? I said earlier that religion is a double-edged sword. It can be used to defend the oppressed or oppress the defenseless. So we have to keep on focusing. Andito yun eh. Sa religion, dapat nagfo-focus tayo sa parts na kung saan hindi siya mami-misinterpret ng karamihan. Hanggang ngayon, for example, sa Bible, sa Christian Bible, I saw this online eh. Yung sa Leviticus, yung no man shall sleep with another man, and the same goes for the women. Pero merong research daw, turns out, ang original translation nun sa Hebrew is, no man shall sleep with a young boy, nor will a woman to their own. Kumbaga, pedophilia ang ina-address, diba? So, bakit ginawa ng church, ng translators, na ginawang homosexuality? Kasi, wala talagang trace ng homosexuality daw sa Bible. From translations, unless, diba, the church is covering something up. Pero, syempre, that's far na. Pero, yun nga, yung dapat nagpo-focus tayo sa tamang beliefs ng ating religion, which is yung positive peace building. Yung kunwari, the golden rule style, diba? Or pacifism. Na kung saan, we keep on addressing issues non-violently and doing things na to other people so good because we want good things to happen to us, diba? More generally, fighting ignorance can go a long way as well. Interfaith dialogue would be beneficial at all levels of religious hierarchies and across all segments of religious communities because every religion has the same belief, which is to become a good person. Kung sino man ang Diyos natin, kung sino man ang paniniwala natin, or kung may paniniwalaan tayo, we all want to be a good we all want to be a good person. Kasi alam din natin deep inside na fundamentally evil tayo. Andito rin kasi, where silence and misunderstanding are all too common. So, why, instead of being silent, instead of letting the misunderstanding go through, how about we learn about other religions so that we could move forward, so we could be progressive. Kasi ito yung problem ko sa religion eh. Religion kasi is too traditional. For Christianity, ang belief nila is about for what 2,000 years, diba? Even the calendar we're following yung Christian 2,000 years. Wala kang nakikitang female na bishop or na female leader, diba? Wala kang nakikitang progress. There is no progress. Lagi tayong nagsistick sa tradition. Paano tayo aasenso? If the world is changing so fast, paano maka-keep up yung religion? Kasi we're being fed with many information. Actually, sa internet, if you want to learn about a religion, you can just search it up. And it's good to know, to immerse yourself in other religions. Pero, I think na the fact na nagaganon tayo is because we are seeking for answers that our own religions cannot answer. And it's because we are sticking to traditions. Being educated about other religions does not mean conversion. Don't think na pag kunwari ako, I'm a born again Christian and I searched about Islam. It doesn't mean that I want to be a Muslim, but rather it facilitates understanding and respect for other faiths. I want to learn more about the Quran because I don't get it why people are so afraid of Muslims because of what happened before na stained their religion. It's not all Muslims are terrorists, diba? Meron tayong extremists na who claim to be doing it in the name of Allah, pero they don't represent the whole of a Muslim. So I wanted to learn about more of the Muslims and the Quran and bakit sinasabi ng extremists na it's in the name of Allah. So I wanted to learn more about it. Pero I'm still a Christian. I'm a proud Christian. And I love my faith. I just wanted to learn more. Communicating in a spirit of humility and engaging in self-criticism would also be helpful. And, pag nag-research ka ng ibang religions, tendency is you want to see your own religion as well, if things would line up. Kasi most religions naman talaga, most if not all, have the same goal, which is to become a good person nga ulit. So, self-criticism would be to find loopholes in your own belief system, to see if other things in your religion also line up with the other religions, teachings nila, and it would be nice. So that is what is to be done in a world na kung saan everything na may conflict almost is influenced or laging nadadrag ang religion. The best thing to do to avoid these things, kasi we can't avoid violence because it is inflicted by the fundamental evil nature of human beings. Pero what we can opt to do, kasi nangyari na, is to become an understanding individual, an understanding religious individual. It doesn't mean that we are backing out from our faith. It doesn't mean na ikinakahiya natin ang faith natin, but rather, we want to be more outgoing. We want to be more connecting to other people, to other religious identities. We want to, let's say, be the change so that maiwasan na natin yung mga ganito. Kasi I'm pretty sure na all kinds of beliefs, all kinds of religion, doesn't have violence as the first important step in, dealing with things. Unless, kunwari, ang religion mo is violence. You believe in violence, diba? Technically, all these religions, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Sikhism, etc., they all believe in becoming a good person. They all believe in the golden rule. So that is what is to be done to promote and to focus on building and connecting communities regardless of their religious identity. But you don't have to throw it away. You don't have to hide your religious identities. We have to simply embrace our religious identities and embrace others. Because that is the key of religion. Sa two greatest commandment ng Christianity. Love your neighbors. Hindi naman sinabi love your fellow Christians. Neighbors lang. So balik kung sino nasa susunod mong bakod in the community, regardless of their religious identity, love them. Embrace them. And other religions have that same rule as well. So that is basically what is to be done in these trying times, in this continuous history of conflict and violence revolving religion. Basically, that is why conflict and religion almost goes hand in hand. Pero it's not religion's fault, ha? It's definitely not. Pero we can all agree na wherever there is conflict, there's always a religion, or has how I would want to call it, a fundamental set of beliefs and practices. So, thank you. This is Just Ask Why, podcast episode number 8, and good night.